Hi, my name is Bob Taylor, and I'm your guest host today for this segment of Our Ventura TV. I'm here today with my guest, Rosalind Prieto from Meadowlark Service League. Meadowlark Service League. Of course, it sounds like a bird. What is Meadowlark Service League?
Well, we're a nonprofit organization of all women volunteers who put on 3 events each year to fundraise for our charities and scholarships for high school students.
Okay, first let's get the politics out of the way. Rotary used to be all men, and all of a sudden they couldn't be all men anymore. So now there's women in Rotary too. Meadowlark, is it a private organization or is it a big one? I mean, is it all over the place like Rotary, or is it just a one group?
It's just us. We're mostly in Camarillo, but we'd have men help us, like I mentioned.
Oh, so you do allow men to help. You knew where I was going with that, didn't you?
We know what we need. So we have our husbands, sons, neighbors, nephews help with things that we need.
So there is you strictly a single group, most people in Camarillo, mostly women, and you raise money for other nonprofits.
Yes.
Do you have somebody that runs you? Do you have an administration group? How do you get run? Who runs you guys?
Well, like I mentioned, we're all volunteers. We don't have any paid staff. We kind of have our own, each have our roles. So we do have an executive committee, like you would at any other organization. You have a president, secretary, etc. And we have committees. So for example, I serve on multiple committees because we're only 40 women. If we need to do certain things, we need people to cover. So I'm secretary this year and also publicity chair, but it could be switched anytime. Next year it could be somebody else, and we're always just filling in all the roles that we need to make sure that we run smoothly, but there's really no one always in charge or anything like that.
So you have no paid staff whatsoever?
No.
So every penny you guys make goes back out to the community?
Exactly.
That's pretty impressive. Okay, now what events do you put on that we would know about or the people would know about?
Our biggest event, our signature event, is our A Taste of Camarillo Wine and Food Festival. That's at the end of July. It's at the Camarillo Ranch every year. A lot of people know us from that. That's our biggest fundraiser.
Okay, and that just brings vineyards out and people cooking and that kind of thing, and everybody buys tickets. And
exactly. We reach out to wineries, breweries, restaurants, and merchant vendors. A lot of the wineries are out of the area because there's a lot of wine out there that we want to bring in. And our restaurants are mostly local. We like to it changes every year. If there's a new restaurant, there's always a new restaurant. We want them to be showcased there.
Right. So you bring them in for a day, sell tickets, and how much money do you raise with that kind of thing?
I can't really say. It really depends because every year we try to do something that brings in our audience. Of course, there's a lot of festivals that have been popping up nowadays. It's kind of the latest trend.
Right.
So we like to do themes. So sometimes our costs would vary each year.
Right.
But in general, out of all of our events, we tend to raise, for example, we gave away $260,000 around last year, and we pretty much been able to raise a little bit more each year.
Hey, $260,000. How many nonprofits benefited from you raising money last year?
Over 30.
Wow.
And those are all nonprofits serving Ventura County.
So does a nonprofit, is there an application process for nonprofits? Do they fill out an application to say, hey, we want some of your money, and you look at them and decide if they're worthy and decide how you're going to divide it up?
Yes, so we have grant applications. So
I see.
These are all grants. And the numbers change, so we don't stick to 30 every year. We have we have a committee. So we have another committee. We have committees, just several different committees. But what we do is we go down the list. We learn about each organization. Sometimes new ones pop up, and we all pretty much figure out which ones we like and how much. We decide how much we want to give. It changes every year. And the thing I love about these charities is that they're very honest. Okay, we could give them the amount from last year, But then this year, they'll be honest and they'll ask for less because that's all they need. And I love that because now we have enough money to maybe support another charity that we can bring in that really needs it. Some of these charities, this is what they depend on in order to even be, still be around next year.
Right. We have over 4,000 nonprofits in our county. I can just see you getting 4,000 grant applications one year. Your committee would grow.
I don't think that many of them know us. I hope they do. I'll be fine going through all the applications.
Well, after this TV show, everybody's going to know who you guys are.
Good. I hope so. And you know what? They're great because they all like to give back. They help promote our events, meaning we get out flyers, they distribute it. They make sure that their staff, if their nonprofit staff knows about our events, and if we need help maybe with volunteers for an event, if they can pitch in, they will, or help find us volunteers. Okay. So we all work together. It's really great.
Now, although I'm going to ask this again at the end of the show, just for all the nonprofits listening and people out there, how does somebody get a grant application? Are they available online?
I believe they're online, but I know for sure that our contact information is online in order for them to reach out to get a grant application. Because I'm not sure if the grant application has been updated online.
Okay, so is it Meadowlark.com, Meadowlark or what's
Meadowlark Service League.com.
Meadowlark
Right.
And from there you can find out everything you're doing and all your events and that kind of thing.
Exactly.
Okay, so one event does not raise you $250,000 to hand out to our nonprofits. There's more than just the Taste of Camarillo you do. What other events do the Meadowlarks do?
Well, every early December, we have our Homes for the Holidays home tour, and it's the Red Barn Holiday Boutiques.
Well, that's cool.
So you get to go tour really nice Camarillo homes, sometimes from Silmis, but mostly Camarillo. They're fully decorated with their Christmas ornaments and decorations. A lot of these homes have unique features, so you might see something you've never seen before. For example, I saw in the past year a door that was imported from China. Just different things that you wouldn't even think of. It's a good way to think of ideas and how to design your own home. Also, a lot of them have collectibles. There's this house that I went to, it was amazing. They had a huge village, and it was the Charles Dickens collection.
And they just open it up to the public, or anybody that buys the ticket?
Exactly, yeah.
And so you guys, or people just tour the different houses and stuff, and the ticket money goes back to the nonprofits again.
And we have, complimentary refreshments. There's raffle drawings that they participate in, and we play holiday music. There's different things going on, and from there they can also stop by the Camarillo Ranch, which is where we have our boutiques, and we all bake homemade goodies and have refreshments there, and they can buy things like holiday cards and poinsettias. It feels like Christmas.
Yeah,
it feels like the holidays.
When somebody says Christmas and housing, first thing I think of, I'm from Michigan, first thing I think of is, why is anybody going to open up their house to all those muddy boots? Right. Of course, we don't have the snow and mud here at Christmas time,
Well, we use sticky mats. Have you ever seen those?
Yes. I'm a realtor, so we see those all the time.
We have sticky mats that we put in the front so they don't get their homes dirty. But a lot of these homeowners are actually, they're contributing to the community in their way.
Right. Oh,
so,
no, without a doubt.
We ask for these homes, and we beg and we ask, and they are kind enough to open up their homes for a day. It's only a day. In order to let people see their homes and help raise money for our charity. So it's not easy to do. Not everyone would do it. I mean, if you're in real estate,
everybody that comes through, you can think, there goes another buck to the charities. There goes another dollar to the charities. So,
yes.
I mean, that's really good for the homeowner to be able to help that way too. Quite often if you don't have dollars to give, or if you don't have something else to give, just opening up your home like that can help.
Right.
Can help. Or the service time if you don't have dollars.
Exactly. And they feel good too because they've been asked, because we know they have a beautiful home, or we know that it was designed by a really good designer, and they want to show it off. So it's a compliment that we've been asked, because who wouldn't want to see their gorgeous home, and why do you decorate it unless you want someone to see it?
Now what we got to do? Now we got to get a Meadowlark bus.
Right.
And then we can charge people for the tours. Not only charge them for the houses, we can charge them for the bus ride, make a few extra bucks on the side.
We do have a pre-tour champagne brunch that we offer at a higher ticket price. So people will go to a local restaurant before the tour, and you have champagne or mimosas usually, or a Bloody Mary. You have your brunch, and then you go on the tour. And some of the tickets or sponsorships that you could do, you could actually get a limo, take you and your friends to each home from the brunch.
Well, if I was going to donate to something, that'd be a way to donate, because it's all a donation, and you get to have your Bloody Mary and ride around in a limousine with your friends and see the nice homes.
And it's a great holiday gift. I mean,
oh, what another great idea.
Right. Well, you can buy someone something from the store, or you can take all your friends or family out on a nice family day, friendly
or even
day.
buy some of your loved ones a ticket for the tour, those that would enjoy that kind of thing.
Yes.
That would make a nice gift too.
Or
All right,
your gardener.
We've talked about 2 of the programs.
Okay.
What else we got?
The next we have is in the spring, we have, I'm sorry about this, but it's a women's charity tennis. It's a luncheon and tennis tournament.
I've been to that a few times.
Yes. I don't know how you snuck in, but it's for women.
I know. It's a beautiful tennis tournament. You have a great thing.
Right.
I used to be a member of Las Posas years ago, so every now and again, because some of it would branch down from Spanish Hills, and they do some of the tournaments there, so I was able to watch a couple of things, but wasn't being able to be part of it, just being able to watch some of it.
And you don't have to play tennis to go. Most of the people go for either just a luncheon or they do the tennis and the luncheon. But the women there, it's a great time to be around their friends or with family, like your nieces and your sisters. But usually we have a speaker, we have a live auction, we have a silent auction, and then they have boutiques again where you can buy clothes and jewelry.
And you do that? Would you do that at Spanish Hills?
It could be Spanish Hills or Las Posas. I think mainly in the past it's been at Las Posas for the actual luncheon, but the tennis is played at both Spanish and Las Posas, and private courts if we need more courts.
Now, you guys, like you said, you're expanding. It used to be all Camarillo women. Now you're getting out of Camarillo a little bit. As people are
I'm from Moore Park.
You're from Moore Park. So we'll eventually, if we get more people in the whole county, that some of those tournament things, even those housing things, could be all over the county instead of just Camarillo.
And we'll be happy for that. The only thing is that we're looking for people that are hard workers, hands-on. We do everything ourselves, or we do the work to find help, but we don't sit in the office and plan things. We do that, and then we also go and make phone calls, and then we go pick up something, lift something, hang things. We're very active.
I have a couple of questions. We only got about a minute left.
Yes.
If you were to total all the volunteers all year long that Meadowlark touches, uses, helps with, or needs help with on all your programs, what would you estimate? How many volunteers?
It's not clear, but I think maybe 100. But like I said, everyone does multiple.
You need 100 at each event.
Right. We start over every time we do an event, and we bring in more volunteers. And like I said, people do multiple tasks. They'll do 12-hour days if they have to. We would love to get more volunteers so we don't have to do so much work ourselves, but whatever it takes.
So the women organize everything and do the work, and the men do what they're told.
Right. Exactly.
And you can be found at www.meadowlarkserviceleague.com.
Right.
Any information from you can be found from there.
And we're on Facebook.
Now, it sounds to me, we have 3 things to give back. We have time, we have talent, and we have treasures. And it sounds to me like Meadowlark Service League gives some of all of that in one way or another. It sounds like each of you gives some of that in one way or another.
Right. Exactly.
Thank you very much for being with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for being with us today. My name is Bob Taylor. I've been your guest host. I've been here with my guest, Rosalind Prieto. We've been talking about Meadowlark Service League.